The Supreme Court of Pakistan, in its landmark judgment of Member, Board of Revenue, Punjab, etc., versus Shiraz Khan, grappled with complex legal questions concerning land acquisition and the rights of displaced persons. This case delves into the heart of Pakistan's legal framework, examining the balance between the government's power of eminent domain and the protection of individual property rights. The court's decision carries immense significance, setting a crucial precedent for future interpretations of land acquisition laws and safeguarding the rights of citizens facing displacement. This essay aims to provide a comprehensive analysis of the judgment, unraveling its legal intricacies and implications. We will explore the case's background, the litigation's journey to the Supreme Court, and the crux of the court's findings. Furthermore, we will delve into the broader legal implications of the decision, particularly its impact on the protection of accrued rights, the guarantee of fair compensation for displaced persons, and the exercise of eminent domain by the government. At the heart of this landmark case lies a seemingly simple land allotment. The dispute originated from the acquisition of land by the Pakistan government for a public project. The land, situated in a prime location, was earmarked for development, promising economic growth and improved infrastructure. To facilitate the project, the government invoked its power of eminent domain, acquiring the land from its original owners with the promise of compensation. Among those affected by the acquisition was Shiraz Khan, a landowner whose property fell within the designated project area. Like many others, he was dispossessed of his land, promised compensation for his loss. The government's acquisition, however, triggered a wave of litigation. Displaced landowners, including Shiraz Khan, challenged the acquisition process, alleging irregularities and inadequate compensation. This case, therefore, represents a clash between the state's pursuit of development and the rights of individuals impacted by such endeavors. The case of Member, Board of Revenue, Punjab, etc. versus Shiraz Khan embarked on a long and arduous journey through the Pakistani legal system. It first landed in the lower courts, where the intricacies of the land acquisition, the legality of the government's actions, and the fairness of defenders offered compensation were meticulously examined. The lower courts grappled with the complex legal questions, issuing rulings that were subsequently appealed by the aggrieved parties. The case, with its significant implications for land acquisition laws and the rights of displaced persons, eventually found its way to the Supreme Court of Pakistan. The Supreme Court, recognizing the case's weight, agreed to hear the appeal. This set the stage for a landmark judgment that would shape the legal landscape concerning eminent domain and the protection of individual property rights. The Supreme Court of Pakistan, in its much anticipated judgment, delivered a unanimous verdict in favor of Shiraz Khan, siding with the displaced landowner. The court, after carefully considering the arguments presented and scrutinizing the evidence, ruled that the government's acquisition process was flawed and lacked transparency. It held that the compensation offered to Shiraz Khan fell short of the fair market value of his property, violating his fundamental right to just compensation. The court, in its detailed judgment, emphasized the sanctity of individual property rights and the need for the government to exercise its power of eminent domain judiciously and fairly. It underscored that while development projects are essential for national progress, they cannot come at the cost of citizens' fundamental rights. The government, the court stressed, must adhere to due process and ensure that displaced persons are adequately compensated for their losses. KSSC Section 5, Protection of Accrued Rights. The Supreme Court's judgment in the Shiraz Khan case carries profound legal implications, particularly regarding the protection of accrued rights. The court, in no uncertain terms, affirmed that citizens' rights, once accrued, cannot be extinguished or diminished arbitrarily. This principle holds immense significance, particularly in the context of land acquisition, where individuals stand to lose their ancestral lands and livelihoods. The court's emphasis on the protection of accrued rights acts as a bulwark against arbitrary government actions, ensuring that individuals are not unjustly deprived of their property or rights. The judgment sends a clear message that the government, while exercising its power of eminent domain, must respect the sanctity of accrued rights and ensure that any deprivation is lawful, justified, and accompanied by fair compensation. Section 6, Fair Compensation, a cornerstone of justice. Central to the Supreme Court's judgment is the principle of fair compensation, a cornerstone of justice when the government acquires private land for public use. The court, in unequivocal terms, stated that displaced persons are entitled to compensation that reflects the true market value of their property, factoring in all potential uses and future appreciation. The judgment categorically rejects the notion of undervaluation or inadequate compensation, underscoring that dispossessed landowners should not be left financially disadvantaged. This principle of fair compensation ensures that the burden of development is not borne solely by those who are dispossessed, but is shared equitably by society as a whole. Section 7, Eminent Domain Balancing Public and Private Interests. The Supreme Court, in its landmark ruling, acknowledged the government's power of eminent domain, the authority to acquire private property for public use. However, the court emphasized that this power is not absolute and must be exercised within the bounds of the law, respecting individual rights and adhering to the principles of natural justice. The court's judgment underscores the need for a delicate balance between public and private interests, while recognizing the importance of development projects for national progress. The court cautions against arbitrary or unjust deprivation of property. The government, the court emphasizes, must demonstrate a compelling public purpose for the acquisition and ensure that the process is transparent, fair, and compliant with the law. Section 8, the decision's impact and future implications. The Supreme Court's judgment in the Sheraz Khan case reverberates far beyond the immediate parties involved, setting a crucial precedent for future legal interpretations and shaping the landscape of land acquisition laws in Pakistan. The judgment serves as a powerful reminder to the government that the pursuit of development cannot come at the cost of citizens' fundamental rights. The court's emphasis on the protection of accrued rights, the guarantee of fair compensation, and the need for transparency and due process in land acquisition proceedings will undoubtedly guide future judicial pronouncements. The judgment empowers displaced persons, providing them with legal recourse against arbitrary acquisition and ensuring that their rights are safeguarded. Section 9, Conclusion. The Supreme Court of Pakistan's judgment in the case of Member Board of Revenue, Punjab, etc. versus Sheraz Khan stands as a testament to the judiciary's unwavering commitment to upholding the rule of law and protecting the rights of all citizens. The judgment, with its emphasis on fairness, transparency, and the sanctity of individual rights, serves as a beacon of hope for those facing displacement and a potent reminder to the government of its obligation to act justly and equitably. The judgment's legacy will undoubtedly extend far beyond the confines of this particular case, shaping the legal landscape and influencing future interpretations of land acquisition laws. It stands as a powerful affirmation of the principle that the pursuit of national development must go hand in hand with the protection of individual rights, ensuring that progress does not come at the cost of justice and fairness.